there are three things that you want to achieve when you are preparing to deadlift. First and foremost, you want to prime your posterior chain to do the majority of the work through triple extension. And triple extension basically embodies the deadlift movement. Secondly, you want to prime your quads to pick up the slack that your posterior chain leaves behind. The secondary muscle that's moving that bar off of the ground is your quads. It helps to keep the integrity of the movement. Really important to prepare those quads to do that work. Finally, you want to prepare the abdominal wall to take that pressure that's going to be spread through your spine and make sure that it doesn't cause involuntary flexion in the lumbar or thoracic spine.
Alright, first stretch for our leg warm-up. Get the hip flexor, right? The muscle that runs right over your hip. You want to get right here, adjust your pelvic tilt and maintain your posture. Don't want to get bent over, don't want to lean this way. Maintain that posture and slowly push forward. You're going to feel that stretch here. If you're not feeling that, rotate your pelvic tilt, right? Don't shift back. Rotate that pelvic tilt. Another mistake is don't let your knee go over your toe. Extend that a little bit out if you have to.
So with the second and third stretches, we're really looking to open the hips laterally. I set my hands down and maintain the posture through my spine. And I'm going to squeak out an extra inch or two of abduction in the hips. From here, I'm going to set my elbows down, and I already have a stretch on the muscles of the inner hip, the adductors, the gracilis. And I'm going to enhance that by taking my hips here and driving them down into the ground like this. Okay, you see I'm even rotating my torso in a little bit. And after about 30 seconds of a static stretch there, I'm going to move to this side, right? Same deal. You can see I'm taking this, driving in, getting that stretch on the adductors, opening that hip up laterally. Then I'm going to come to the center here. This is the third stretch in our hip series. Put the hands, rest them here, and I want to work forward and backward, work along this plane now. So we're here, I'm going to open up, I'm feeling this a little bit more in my hip flexors, always driving my groin down into the floor here. Back and forth, you can see this kind of simulates the movement of a squat, right? And the reason we do these stretches is to get static stretch on the adductors. The more static stretch I can get on the adductors, the more I can turn these muscles off. It works with any muscle really. When you statically stretch your hamstring and then try and contract it, muscular activation is substantially less. And the more we can turn this off, the more you're going to eliminate the problem of your knees falling inward on a deadlift, right? Some inexperienced deadlifters grip the bar, you'll see they drive up and their knees collapse inward. Same thing with a squat. You'll see inexperienced squatters hit the floor, drive up, and the knees collapse in, right? This is too tight and it's also producing a little too much force. The more we can turn this off, opens the road for the abductors, these muscles out here on your hip, to pull your knees out, resulting in a better squat. These knees fall out, I drive up. Same thing with a deadlift. When I drive up, my knees are forcing out this way.
This is the start of all of our leg workouts. We do it every single time. 3x15, both quad extension and hamstring curl.
Yeah, I mean, we use this basically to concentrate on both of those muscle groups and definitely hit them separately. It's going to help us connect our mind down to both the quadriceps and the hamstrings. We want them working in the right ratios too. Generally, you want the quads doing about a third of the work, hamstrings doing about 2/3 of the work. So we kind of set the weight up accordingly.
So our split squats, do them right after the quad extension and hamstring curl. It's much more dynamic and functional than sitting on those machines. You want to focus on keeping your torso upright. Ideally in this one, I should have brought my left foot there out a few inches, my right foot now. just to get so my knee doesn't go over my toe.
So this is our curl position squat that we use to warm up. We normally do about 1 set of 15. Pretty lightweight, we just grab a 25-pound plate. You can see I'm really trying to force the center of gravity back on my heels. I'm really focusing on expanding my belly, keeping my spine tight with my abdominal wall.
So this is our first set of deadlifts, just 135, very light for us. We try to move pretty quick, try to keep our form in line, and it's the first time that we're starting to warm up the posterior chain.
Yeah, and when we talk about the posterior chain, we're talking about the chain of muscles that runs from basically the back of your heels all the way up to the back of your skull. All right, so this is the start of the working sets for us. Right here you can see Ian is he's starting his deadlift. We slap 2 more plates on there. This is 225 for reps. He's really just trying to get his form down, get into a nice rhythm here.
Yeah, and you want to work up steadily, especially if you're going for a PR. We didn't hit a PR here today, but we wanted to get pretty heavy. You need to find the balance between jumping too much in weight, because then it's going to feel way too heavy. It's going to feel impossible. Find the balance between that and doing too many sets, jumping up too light, because then you're just wasting energy.
Yeah, and we keep using the term triple extension, and when we're talking about triple extension, we're talking about your body extending through the ankles, knees, and hips. Really, it's the basis of all functional movements for strength and conditioning. The most important one for sports, absolutely.